Makai Lemon is the best wide receiver in this draft and the best pound-for-pound prospect overall. But what I really want to say is stop trying to actively sabotage this man. This is last year's Biletnikoff award-winning wide receiver, the best wide receiver in the country last season, PFF's highest-graded wide receiver in the country last season, who at 5'11", 192 was going up and mossing bigger defensive backs all season. The guy is a slot wizard, an elite route runner, creates separation, elite hands. He does not drop the ball. Outstanding awareness and football IQ, and one of the toughest players in the entire draft. He has no fear going over the middle and making tough, contested catches anywhere on the football field. The film, the production, and the accolades do not lie. The man is the best wide receiver in the draft. But I forgot, viral videos of him having what people perceive as a strange demeanor at combine media interviews, another video of him apparently not paying attention at combine drills, and then unfounded and conflicting reports of him bombing combine interviews, and then of all things, his fucking sprint mechanics went viral for being imperfect when he ran a 4.4 at his pro day, and he's not even a speed guy. Had people saying he was slow, then a bunch of people who haven't ran a sub-6 40-yard dash in their entire lives hop on their phone with Dorito dust, with Cheeto dust on their fingers, with wing sauce on their fingers, talking about, oh, this guy can't run. How about you all do me a big favor and shut the fuck up? Just shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. This guy is the best wide receiver in the draft. You want a comparison? How about Jackson Smith and Jigba? How about Amon-Ra St. Brown, an elite slot receiver that will immediately be your quarterback's best friend, and if featured at all in an offense in his first season, can go for 80 plus catches and 1,000 plus yards from day one in the NFL. So if you choose to pass on that guy because he has a unique demeanor and talks different from than what you're comfortable with, or has weird sprint mechanics, you should be fired and banned from ever making any football decisions again, because Makai Lemon is going to dominate in the NFL. Sorry, fellas, I had to get it off my chest. Fellas, what do you think? This is a loaded wide receiver class. What do you think about Makai Lemon and the rest of these wide receivers here in the 2026 NFL draft?
Joe, you have eyes, right?
Yeah.
When you saw Makai Lemon play football, all these things that they're mentioning, did you notice them?
Not a problem.
I don't understand where these things come from. And I don't mean to like bash Carnell Tate, but like, what are we doing here if we're comparing the two? Carnell Tate's a good prospect. I just think it's ridiculous how like these narratives that we let run things. No one stands up and calls it out, and then all of a sudden the kid's falling. And believe me when I say, please fall. I want it. The Patriots fans, I bet the Patriots fans would love to have a Makai Lemon on their team, okay? Please, they're praying to the football gods for that to happen, okay? Makai Lemon, you're my wide receiver one, but I'm not here to talk about Makai Lemon. We're here to talk about CJ Daniels, who went to the national championship and was thrown a pass by Carson Beck that he had no chance at. I am coping. I got to stop.
He's not going to let it go. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be. You're going to be talking about that on the defensive end episode too. Ruben Bain played so well.
I'm not going to lie.
Carson Beck threw that pass.
I might. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. When I talk about Ruben Bain, there might be actual tears falling out of my eyes. Okay. Anyway. CJ Daniels, I apologize. CJ Daniels, I think that he's a natural ball tracker. He really is. I think he locates throws over the shoulder with ease. He showed it with some of the throws that Carson Beck threw that were just completely like off, which happened more often than not. I think that he has fluid hips and quick feet. He snaps off of routes. He has some nice head fakes, right? The thing with CJ Daniels that I'm concerned about is his speed. He's one of those people who just cannot pull away. And even though he has a good 40 time, Joe, I don't think the play speed is matching the number. It just doesn't. When you watch him against Indiana, when you watched him against Ohio State, when you watched him against all these elite programs, it just wasn't going. There are things about him that I think can make him a day 2 pick. His route running is crisp. It's underrated in my opinion. And even though his drop, he only had 2 drop passes, I point to his year in LSU where he had 0 drops on 42 catches. He has 2 drops in 2 years. Okay, so I think that's something that's very notable. And another thing, he's a willing blocker. If you're a day 3 pick, if you're a day 2 pick, you better be blocking. Chances are you might not even hit the field during the regular season, okay? If he can block like he blocked in Miami, he will have a home forever. I promise you. I think he has a competitive toughness. In contested catch situations, he converted 11 of 17. That's a 64% rate. And he also drew 3 pass interference calls. So also underrated when it comes to aggressive catching. Again, his explosiveness is lacking, but I think he makes up his explosiveness with his solid route running, his great blocking, his natural ball tracking. Romeo Doubs is a great ball tracker. I think CJ Daniels fits that bill. Romeo Doubs is also a great run blocker. I think CJ Daniels fits that bill. I think CJ Daniels has a chance to be like the most underrated wide receiver in this draft. I do, but the speed just is not there. I'm thinking early day 3 as his ceiling, late day 3 as his floor. His value is much better as a day 3 pick than it is as a day 2 pick, Joe.
Yeah, I think that you see that as well. And, I think that it's okay to be a day 3 pick, right? It's okay to be that late round guy. We've seen wide receivers succeed from being a day 3 pick. I mean, Antonio Brown was a day 3 pick. Like, he was late. Julian Edelman, damn near went undrafted. Like, let's talk about it, right? Like, some of these guys, when you talk about a good receiver, necessarily going in the first round does not guarantee results, right? We've seen many a first and second round wide receiver amount to very little, if anything. Emeka Egbuka, we thought was popping off, and then all of a sudden he faded late in the year. Brian Thomas Jr. had a abysmal second year. Jalen Polk, Patriots fans remember him. Matt brought up a player that he compared Makai Lemon to, and that was Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm going to go with a guy who's not going to go in the first round. Hell, this guy might not even be drafted. He may go as an undrafted wide receiver. And I'm going to say the name Vinny Anthony II. Vinny Anthony II ran the second fastest 3-cone drill time at 6.86 seconds. He ran the fastest 20-yard shuttle time of any wide receiver at the combine at 4.07 seconds. All right? Those are elite numbers. To compare to Amon-Ra St. Brown, he ran a 4.26 20-yard shuttle and a 6.9 3-cone. Vinny Anthony played for Wisconsin. Broke his index finger. Absolutely, if you throw on the tape, this guy pops. 6.3 yards after catch per reception. Led the Badgers in receptions with 31. That tells you they don't throw the ball a lot. So that he didn't have a chance to truly pop. However, he caught 39 passes in 2024 for 672 yards at 17.2 per and 4 touchdowns. He wins in short area. He wins every route he runs. Tons of bursts. He's 6 foot, 190 pounds. He lined up out wide more than he lined up in the slide. 202 snaps out wide compared to 65. And last year, it was 286 out wide snaps compared to 27. So he's a physical, compact guy, lots of bursts, and has a great release. All right? This guy's footwork and hands off the line are insane. Go throw on the one-on-ones for the Senior Bowl. You'll see him absolutely ball out there. He had one of the best wide receiver performances from a play perspective at the Senior Bowl this year. Okay? Vinny Anthony is a real prospect, and he could possibly go in the 7th round. And I'm telling you, with a good quarterback and a good system that knows how to use his route running, we may be talking about Vinny Anthony very, very soon as a standout NFL wide receiver.
Joe, I love how we just have all of these great NFL draft wide receivers. You got Jordan Tyson, Carnell Tate, Casey Concepcion. You got Denzel Boston, Omar Cooper Jr., Zachariah Branch. I really like Jacoby Lane as well, my other USC guy. All of these guys.
Bryce Lance.
And then Bryce, your boy Bryce Lance. There's a ton of great receivers in this draft. And then Joe comes in here and he brings up Vinny Anthony, which again, I can't come in here and be a hater on Vinny Anthony because again, like we talked about on a previous episode, Joe has found a way somehow through the years to always come up with gems, and the gems always end up being notable. They might not always end up being elite players, like he talked about Efton Chisholm Jr. Efton Chisholm III last year. Again, didn't end up being an elite player for the Patriots, but he made the roster as an undrafted free agent and came in and contributed and scored a touchdown last year. Bill Krosky Merritt. You know, these different guys, Arande Gadsden, these are all guys that Joe brought up in similar videos last year. So again, I'm not saying that I think Vinny Anthony will also be an Amon-Ra St. Brown type of player, but I'm just not going to completely push it off of the board because Joe has proven that he's able to identify these guys over the years. But again, there's a lot of really, really good receivers in this draft. I brought up a few of them. Again, there's even more that I could have mentioned as well that are going to be selected in the NFL draft. If your team needs a receiver, this is a great year to get one in the draft, and we're going to see where they go here coming up in April.
This has been Between the Uprights. Football is life. The rest is just details.